sharpen my spear. Wow! It looked impressive enough from the outside, but who would have guessed that it was even fancier on the inside? This is where all of Teyvat's mora is minted, right? In that case... Oh, so it's a trap! Tricky, tricky. Good thing Paimon's got you here. But even if we can't take any, we can still have a closer look, right? Or better yet, take a nap on top of a mountain of mora. Oh, right. Back to business. It's quiet. Too quiet. Surely someone's gotta be guarding something as important as the exude. Huh? Look! What happened here? Uh-oh. Paimon smells trouble. Quick! We have to go make sure that the exuvia is all right.
You've already fulfilled your task as guides, so why do you still linger here? Haven't you...
Huh? Who's
there? If you were Fatui, I imagine that you would be entitled to a generous reward from the Tsaritsa herself. But now, you're nothing but dross, and you're in my way. Although I'm deeply grateful to you that I was able to effortlessly find this secret location, don't you think that trying to stop me now would just be wasted effort? Stopping the mora mints, hiding away the exuvia. The Chising are really pulling out all—
So you've been planning to take the gnosis from inside the exuvia all along?
As one of the 11 Fatui Harbingers, it's my duty to see the will of the Tsaritsa fulfilled. She will get that which she desires. I'm not asking for your blessing, and there's nothing you can do to stop me anyway. The time for discussion and diplomacy has already passed. I mean, if it were up to me, I would have skipped that stage to begin with. But either way, we now come to my favorite part. A simple pleasure, and one that I am oh so delighted to be sharing with you. The battle.
Battle? So you're the type that goes looking for trouble.
You could say that. When Signora offended the deities outside the cathedral in Mondstadt, she swiftly left the scene once her mission was accomplished. Instead of confronting you directly, she chose to rely on the snow and ice to make her escape. She wouldn't want the knights to come running towards the sound of battle now, would she? When she faces a worthy opponent, she will prioritize her mission, weigh the outcomes, and consider the consequences. But as for me, the greatest pleasure of being a harbinger lies in crossing blades with strong opponents.
We won't let what happened in Mondstadt ever happen again!
Oh, so you intend to fight me? Good. I won't kill you, Traveler. I'll just play along. Besides, you could never defeat me, not even in your wildest dreams. But hey, try to relish the fight anyway, because if you ask me, without that, what else is there? Fighting talk, I love it! Now let's see you live up to it. This chance is hard to come by, so show me all you've got. So very few ever get the chance to square off with the Fatui Harbinger. So come now, amuse me, and don't you dare disappoint. Passable effort. How unbecoming. You've made some progress.
No, my sword!
You missed a spot!
Time to act. Witness the power of Gugwa!
Try this. So quick to flee. Not bad, not bad. Guess I should take you more seriously. Good. No wonder Senora was so wary. View. Well, that just means I can go all out. Brace yourself. This is about to get tough. Now, show me what you can do against the might of a Harbinger.
Red outlined. Time to act. Time to act.
All you do is run. You've got some skills. Crush you!
Body and mind.
No use hiding back there. My turn. Right. Not bad. Your swordsmanship is quite impressive. But that's about as far as you'll get. Didn't think you had that card hidden up your sleeve.
You were just playing it to get close to the Exuvia!
Oh, quiet down. Stop acting like some wide-eyed recruit. You've seen this world. You of all people should know. This should have been expected! Well then, I'll be taking Morax's Gnosis now! I see. Well, this is most unexpected. You beat me to it, didn't you?
This is going to cost you! You... That's the Gnosis ahead of me, didn't you? Did you simply move faster? Or did you leak the information regarding the Golden House to me on purpose? No matter. Hand the Gnosis over, now! Don't make me take it from you!
We didn't take it!
Disappear! Die here.
Body and mind.
No! Did I ruin everything?
Not good. No, my sword. Time to act. Ring cutter.
Die here. Disappear!
You're a cut.
Look! Child's back to normal again!
Well then, it seems the burden of the foul legacy transformation was too great for my body. And now that I consider the matter more carefully, you never had any chance of beating me to the Gnosis. You had no connection to the Gnosis, no matter where it had been taken.
That's what we've been trying to tell you! We didn't take it!
Your show of ability today far surpasses that of Signora's initial assessment of you in Mondstadt. You already know the answer, don't you? I can see it in your eyes. But if that is a secret you wish to keep, I guess I'll just have to curb my curiosity. This battle has already left me satisfied. Anyone who strives as I do to grow stronger shall be called a friend, even if our friendship can only be shown in battle against one another.
Pretty sure that's not the normal way to make friends.
Unfortunately, I must bring this amiable conversation to an end. Given that the Gnosis wasn't taken by anyone, then we must look once again to the beginning. Perhaps it was never in the Exuvia to begin with. In fact, it might be that the Exuvia was just a diversion of sorts.
What? So you mean that...
Yes, it appears so. It seems that the guardian deity of the capital of commerce is also well versed in little As such, we must now look to our backup plan.
backup plan?
I had hoped it would never come to this. I absolutely detest working with those who are... The truth is, the world belongs to those of us who desire to become strong. I seldom willingly mingle with any dull and boring weaklings who think otherwise. Unfortunately, we cannot be picky about our methods as Fatui Harbingers.
So what are you planning to do?
I will awaken the god that lies dormant beneath Guyon's stone forest.
A god?
Osile, overlord of the Vortex, who was defeated by Morax, the Geor Archon in the Archon War, and who has remained pinned beneath the waves by the Geor. If such an ancient god were to be unleashed upon Liyue Harbor, defenseless without the protection of its deity, do you think the cunning Rex Lapis would just stand aloof and watch the ensuing destruction?
But the Archon War ended 2,000 years ago. How can an ancient god appear in a world now?
Simple. I've already prepared the means to awaken it.
Hey, those are sigils of permission. Oh, Paimon remembers now. The Fatui have been researching them.
Indeed. The one that was given to you was just a byproduct of our research. With the power of so many sigils of permission concentrated in one place, along with that which was bestowed upon me as a harbinger by our Tsaritsa, using the powers of ancient gods in such a situation fails to interest me. But knowing that such an action will not only force the Geo Archon to show its hand, but you as well, That makes matters a little more intriguing. Let's see. Will the nation that has lost its deity be swallowed up by an ancient malice once more? If you wish to drown together with the people of Liyue, you're free to stay and enjoy the show.
Huh? He's already gone. That guy is fast. What's going on? Exhausted. If we hadn't happened to see the Jade Chamber flying over just as we came out of the Golden House, did we make it in time? Is the...
What are you doing here?
Huh? Hold on. It's the Adepti. What are you doing on the Jade Chamber? Paimon...
Faced with a calamity of such magnitude, we have agreed to put our differences aside for now and unite against this common enemy.
Oh, Paimon gets it. So how do you plan to defend Liyue? Just seeing this overlord of the Vortex guy puts a pit in Paimon's tummy.
It's not just you. We've got new Millilith recruits who can't even stand at attention without shaking. The force of an ancient god's presence seems to be too much for ordinary people to handle. Which is why we must stop that monster before it gets any closer to Liyue Harbor.
So the Archon War was fought 2,000 years ago against enemies like that thing? So will the power of the Chising, Millilith, and Adepti gathered here be enough to stop that god?
We've already discussed this together, and our conclusion is...
What? But all of you were supposed to be the guardians of Liyue.
One certainly could.
Huh?
The Chising did once research the matter of the Guizhong Ballista when it piqued their fancy. And as fate would have it, one who did craft the Guizhong Ballista with one's own hands is... For what could you mortals ever learn of Adepti mechanisms? Yet, it would take one, but a little tinkering to turn this ballista...
I suppose this is one blessing from the Adepti that we should be thankful for. So be it. We shall use the upgraded Guizhong Ballista to fight off that god. All the Adepti here can lend their strength to man it. We haven't a moment to spare. Our battle begins now. Yep.
The three Adepti are manning the Guizhong Ballista. Do not let the Fatui disturb their work!
All able Millilith, with me!
Let's go help too!
We Adepti have not faced a god in several millennia. Let one see what you're made of then. What strength remains within you? One wishes to witness.
How can this be? My work finished.
No, my sword!
This was well done. Cook this through. You can't run with the wind.
That is Osial's divine power. Be careful not to get hit.
The Fatui! Their attacks are unrelenting!
Nezhnai's diplomats will answer for this afterward. Every last one.
The ancient gods attacking again! There are so many between two! We can't look!
Were you about to say we can't hold them, children? Don't lose heart. Here, take this.
This is special energy! That light from your body, it's like the time in Julian Cars! Whoa! It's not a pink shockwave! This granny's really strong!
Splash frost. You can't run. Well, freshness for sure. Looks like I went too far.
It's this!
My work finished.
With the blood of the Chilean, I guard you against evil! Cast your fear of injury by the wayside, and fight with all your might! I too did this during the Archon War!
So this is what Gunny's like in a fight!
My name means swiftness. Take my power and run as I do.
We're going too fast!
Strong in body and spirit. Perhaps you can withstand 3 forms of adeptal energy at once.
This will hurt a little. Please bear with us.
Once you've adapted, try to use that back.
Disappear! Let's move.
Get careless.
Blink! The Fatui's numbers are thinning!
Fight on, comrades! Once we finish this lot off, the Adepti will be able to deal with the god in peace.
The interlopers are no more. Now we may commit ourselves fully.
It's working! We just need to keep this up!
Be careful now.
The Guizhong Ballista is destroyed. Without its covering fire, retaliation shall be difficult.
But the Jade Chamber is our last line of defense. We can't give another inch, no matter what.
I have another idea.
What do you mean, Lady Ningguang?
I'll sacrifice the Jade Chamber.
What is the meaning of this?
I understand.
Traveler, lend me a hand. Farewell, old friend. Goodbye for now. Let us meet again in the future.
Is it finally over?
The ominous aura of that monster has indeed begun to fade. The effects of the Sigil of Permission last but a short time. It will be some time before the Overlord of the Vortex can make any waves again.
We are indebted to you for your assistance. If the Adepti hadn't happened to be here...
Save your flattery. We didn't just happen to be here.
Come now. There's no need for such harsh words, Cloud Retainer. I've heard that when Ningguang began learning to do business, she had already started setting aside part of her then limited income in At first, it was only the size of a small room, but with continued expansion, it has become the palace that lies before you now. It is a testament to Ningguang's entire life, both as a businesswoman and as the backbone of the Liu Qixing. Seeing the Jade Chamber destroyed in the defense of Liu means much to her. To me, such cooperation and sacrifice deserves at least some recognition, don't you agree?
Well, I was really hoping you would say that such sacrifice could at least be used as some leverage in our negotiations. Thank you all for hearing me out. We know very well why the Adepti came here today. But
Oh?
3,700 years. According to our records, the Adepti signed a contract with Rex Lapis to protect Liyue. Even to this very day, Liyue and its lands have stood the test of time, immovable as stone, just as it was thousands of years before. But that does not mean that the Liyue of today is the same city as it was all those years ago. Do not merely cast your protective gaze upon the land. Instead, focus your sights on our city and each of the citizens that dwell within it.
Are you questioning our means of protecting Liyue?
I mean no offense. I simply hope that our Adepti forebears would see Liyue in a new light.
Forebears, you say? One doubts you would be fit to be part of such a lineage.
This morning, Rex Lapis appeared to me in a dream.
What?
In the dream, I yearned to tell him that we Qixing, though mortal, are equally bound to the contract. Each passing generation of the Qixing leaves many things of value to be inherited by the next generation. I also thought to tell him how the past generations of Qixing had strove under his rule to survive in our mortal world. But I dared not speak. I could only gaze at him in silence until the moment I awoke.
Oh, Ningguang.
Yet another perspective. What are you trying to say, Outlander?
Right! That's something that happened in Mondstadt. It's a story about the Four Winds and the people of the Animal Archon. The Animal Archon sought to quell the strife between the two sides, because he believed that such conflict would only scar the hearts of both.
Each of the 7 nations has its own scars from the past.
Though your point is the very height of simplicity. As Adepti, we've become a laughingstock, to be chastised thus by an outlander who has lent us such succor.
All right, all right. Didn't Ningguang suggest that we should focus on the city and each of its citizens? I know I already have, so why...
I apologize for appearing in full armor. I am afraid I cannot show the proper courtesies.
And who are you?
I am Feng Yan, a sergeant of the Millilith. I have come to extend my thanks to the Adepti. I thought this battle would perhaps be my last. But thanks to the aid of the Adepti, our forces were not as badly battered as I feared we might be. Although I am a mere mortal soldier, I promise to hold the line and never betray the grace given to us by the illuminated Adepti this day.
Huh? Why does everyone look so down?
Weren't you frightened, dear? It was quite the predicament.
I wasn't afraid. All the strong Millilith guards were there, and those powerful heroes with their visions were there. Everyone was there. When danger is near, everyone always protects me. And the rest of the time, they make fun toys and tasty snacks and loads of things that make the harbor so pretty. Thanks for protecting Liyue Harbor. Please come visit us for the next lantern rite.
Unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to participate.
Huh?
Because we are Adepti.
Oh, okay. Aw.
You see, this is what Liyue is like today. The country of contracts is grateful to the Adepti for their protection. But it is no longer necessary for the city to rely on the... Although their blood is weak, there is still strength to be found in those... The time of contracts between gods and Liyue has long since passed. Now is the time of contracts between Liyue and its people.
Seeing the port around us now, it is hard not to feel a bit out of place. Wouldn't you say so, Cloud Retainer?
Your line of inquiry is askew. One did not spearhead this expedition to Liyue.
Seems like the Adepti have had a change of heart.
Let us return now.
Eager to leave, conqueror of demons.
Yes, one understands what the Conqueror of Demons means. The city of Liyue has changed much after our long separation. One fears that by the time one finally grasps the new contracts of Liyue, you humans... Fair enough.
Since we Adepti have consensus, then one shall persist no further. But how will we ensure that the Liyue Qixing will not simply exploit their power once we depart?
All right, Mooncarver, you needn't worry. It seems to me that this right of supervision...
Looks like the conflict between humans and Adepti was avoided. Oh, right! It's nice that we've got peace and all, but we're forgetting one thing. Child wanted to unleash the god so he could lure Rex Lapis out. But we were able to handle the Overlord of the Vortex on our own. Oh, and speaking of that, don't we still need to get to the bottom of that Archon's depth? Paimon doesn't get it. But isn't the strongest lead we have the Adepti-less rite of party that we're organizing? No idea where Zhongli's gone. Let's ask for him at Wangshen Funeral Parlor. Longsword in hand and the world at my feet.
Is there anything I can do for you two?
We've come to see Zhongli.
Unfortunately, Zhongli isn't here at the moment.
Doesn't the Northland Bank belong to the Fatui? Last time we saw Zhongli was before we went to the Golden House. Do you think he doesn't know about the attack on Liyue? Visiting the Fatui, we had better go and make sure that everything is okay.
You call this cooperation between Harbingers? Cooperation involves communication, you know.
Don't take it to heart, child. Besides, aren't you happy that you got to skip the formalities and bring chaos to the land? Oh, it seems that some of your friends have arrived.
Hey, it's Zhongli and Child. And...
It's you two. I believe we've met once before. In the City of Bards, was it? I'm glad you still remember my name. Ah, right. I imagine that it must have been rather hard to forget.
Well, if it isn't you two. This is our first time seeing each other since Liyue was nearly wiped off the map.
Paimon knew that we should never have trusted a Fatui Harbinger.
Oh, now don't say that. Sure, I may have misled you, but I never had anything against you personally. Besides, I thought we were getting along quite well together, didn't you? Except for that little tussle we had at the end. Nothing personal. We just have different views, that's all. Of course, you may very well hold this against me, but the real deceivers here are Senora and Zhongli. Curse them for leading me on. So actually, I think...
Stop wasting time, child. There'll be plenty of time to chat once I'm through here. You remember the agreement, Morax. Now,
What in the world are you talking about?
The contract. is fulfilled. That...
How sanctimonious.
What? So you're the Lord of Chio? No, wait! That's an exciting twist and all, but why give the Gnosis to the Fatui?
I do not give it for free. I give it as agreed upon in the contract. For it is a matter solely between the Tsaritsa and I.
Yeah, you don't think you went a little bit too far with that whole fake death thing? Everyone was preparing the ceremony for you, and splat! This big dragon falls out of the sky, and all of Lyric goes into an uproar.
Gathering all the forces that had been bubbling behind the scenes, and then stirring them together in a pot that was bound to boil over.
Wait, what?
Perhaps it's best that I explain. As you know, I've dwelt upon this world for more than 6,000 years. Even boulders that can withstand whirlpools will erode with the passing of time. I kept convincing myself that until one drizzly day, as I was strolling along the harbor, I heard a merchant tell one of his workers. I stood motionless among the crowds, asking myself,
Oh, Zhongli.
but as I began to consider relinquishing my divine role, I soon discovered that many reasons still remained to not haste. Was Liyue, the city I had dwelt in for so long, already prepared to enter its next age? I decided, so I feigned my own death, and gathered the cast of Child, the Adepti, and indeed I was. The Gnosis, which I had kept for so many years, suddenly seemed to have lost its meaning. That's right. Which is why I continued to safeguard the Gnosis.
So you mean that if the chaos ever reached the point of no return, you would simply appear and use your divine powers to bring Liyue back on—
Of course, and it would have been all too easy for him too. Just as a child quickly matures after losing their parents, so has Liyue matured when faced with the death of its day.
I was pleasantly surprised with the finale of the show that you all put on. The Adepti deserve the greatest applause, considering their years of seclusion. They hardly recognized the city, yet faced with such a crisis, they exerted the greatest amount of restraint. And hats off to the emissary dispatched by the Cryo-Archon to fulfill our contract, Signora. She managed to keep everything she knew in strict confidence, far from the eavesdropping ears. All the while, I carried on as Zhongli, and fulfilled the traditions of Liyue in this mortal form. These things were all a part of my script. The only unforeseen plot twist was I had expected them to do no more than the Adepti, to come to the defense of Liyue. They seized the opportunity to supplant Liyue's divine protectors, and used the subsequent power vacuum left by my death.
Huh? That doesn't sound good at all.
On the contrary, I think it is excellent. I had always feared that it was too soon for them to take over from me.
Hey, what about me? Doesn't anyone feel the least bit of remorse for deceiving me?
I think that thanks would be more appropriate. You certainly played no small part in all of this. If you hadn't created the pressure of a battle between mortals, Adepti, and a god,
Huh? Just whose side are you on, mocking me like that? Hey, haven't you learned the Liyue saying, don't always call it as you see it?
Well then, with the Gnosis in my possession, I have no use for such idle chatter. We should return to Zappolyarny Palace and seek an audience with Her Majesty.
Fine. I'll meet you there later. I'm not sharing a boat with the likes of you.
Do as you wish.
Now then, is there anything else you wish to ask me?
Right! As Zhongli always told us, a good trade is a fair trade. Paimon has no idea what—
Realistically speaking, there is no such thing.
Huh?
However, I am the god of contracts. For thousands of years, I have made countless contracts. My agreement with the Cryo-Archon will be the last of my contracts as the Geo-Archon. As for the bargaining chip that the Tsaritsa used to balance the uncover that answer for yourself in your future journeys.
Today's the day of the rite of parting. Although the star of the show is fake, we've spent so much time trying to organize it. It would be a real shame not to go there now.
You know that
Yes, and to think that this happened right on the heels of the incident.
Say, do you think the person who assassinated our lord and—
Now that you mention it, that's very possible. I mean, it all fits together. That person must have colluded with the evil god to harm Rex Lapis. Still, what sort of supernatural prowess must this person possess?
Ah, forget it. Guessing's no use to us. Look, the Millilith over there looks like he's about to make an announcement.
Well, since we're going through with this rite of parting...
So Rex Lapis is really...
Oh, come on. Do you think that the assassin could have been a normal person? There's only one real possibility in my mind. I've heard that the assassin was that Fatui fellow. Youngish, pretty high in...
Fatui? They certainly are very suspicious.
Shh! Lower your voice. If the Fatui catch you in their sights, Rex Lapis won't be around to protect...
Hear ye all! Though a dragon soars ageless as the mountains, it too must return to dust. This is gods and adepti live glorious lives, but both light and shadow have their season. So too, rumors and hearsay abound on the streets that Rex Lapis was murdered. Having been thwarted in his trial, Rex Lapis's soul has recouped the celestial heights. Nor are they to believe street-born rumors or indulge in baseless speculation.
Limon needs a translation on what the Chising's announcement said. So that's how they're spinning it. Something feels off. Why would they suddenly give up looking for the murderer? Could the Chising already have known that Rex Lapis was... Did Zhongli tell them in secret after his gnosis changed? Exactly, right? Ooh, seems like... Look, it's Ningguang and Keqing.
As said previously, Rex Lapis's soul returning to the heavens is the...
3,700 years of contracts burnt.
We, the people of Liyue, were indeed prosperous, but blinded by our prosperity.
The long, unending dream of our Archon walking among us.
Now that we have awoken from our dream, we must learn to say fair. Will you stand with us as we re-establish our contracts?
So concludes the words of Her Eminence the Tianquan. Does Her Eminence the Yuheng have anything to add?
Is she looking...
Traveler.
Yikes! She really is looking...
Is that the traveler who they say defeated the ancient god?
So young. The Liyue Chising always repay their debts. And as you have heard, Our eyes see far, and our name your price.
Whoa.
Well, could you help me put up some missing person posters?
As for the mortals and
And to think I'd put my best but it seems as if those perfume. Well, that's fine.
Ah, Rex Lapis. Oh, Rex Lapis. Perhaps mementos for Rex Lapis might be the best short-term.
Hey, Zhongli! Look at this. Everyone and here you are looking all relaxed.
Why would I not feel more at ease after laying down the burden I have borne for Right, if the two of you can spare the time.
Ha! That sounds like big talk, Zhongli.
You're right. I do lack the Mora.
But why would Morax lack Mora?
As the Rex Lapis Morax, I can easily create Mora. But since I have chosen to walk this earth as the mortal, when I was journeying with you, though I still had the Gnosis in hand, I knew that I must soon retire from my—
Oh, no wonder. Paimon gets it now. But since you weren't used to not being able to just make more Mora as and when you wanted to, you had to try becoming a parasite to society.
Well, we were only spending Fatui money. You don't have to say it like that. In the City of Commerce, we do not merely exchange money or goods. The Archon Morax could never experience life as the true mortal Zhongli could. I must thank you for that. I will treasure the memories that I made as Zhongli. That is true. But there is no journey that does not end.
Paimon thinks that we should make a move and continue our search for the Seven.
I fear that continuing your journey may be difficult. The Electro-Archon Ball. And just as the people of Liyue preferred to call me Rex Lapis, she too goes by another
Paimon thinks we've heard that one before.
That is the case. And since Raiden is also the Shogun of the Inazuma—
That said, though people at the wharf were saying that the situation in Inazuma is very tense, Zhongli, since you're Rex Lapis, shouldn't you know something about what's happening there?
It's because of visions.
Visions?
When faced with circumstances beyond their control, humans often bemoan their lack of— But if a person shows true strength of will at a desperate and— This is what visions are.
Uh-huh. That's how people in Teyvat see it.
But starting from last year, the Raiden Shogun began promulgating the Vision Hunt Decree.
Vision Hunt Decree?
Yes. It was an order to seize all visions within Inazuma's borders, and to inlay them upon the hands of a statue of the
They want to seize visions. But
I should think that in the Raiden Shogun's eyes, it is precisely because they are divine blessings.
whoa, that's harsh.
The Animo Archon is the god of freedom, and the Geo Archon is the god of contracts. For her part, the Raiden Shogun is the god of eternity. The fact that even I, the oldest of the seven, have now passed away will only strengthen her resolve to pursue it. Knowing her, she must have again quoted that adage she is most fond of, when 7 ideals for 7 gods, and of these, eternity is nearest. All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know?